Okay, so I ironed all of my seam allowances open. Now I want to, and this is going to be a little trickier because we have a small opening, but I want to pull my mask back through. Again, just be gentle to make sure that metal doesn't get pulled out as you're flipping your mask. We're almost done. All right, so now you can see that I have nice clean edges here. I just want to, before I flip my pocket, I want to do the same thing, and I want to iron open my pocket and the rest of my mask seam allowance like so. So pressing up to both sides. The top you probably you can't iron open because of the metal piece, so don't worry about that. You can over here a little if you want, but otherwise just go ahead and press open that seam allowance at the bottom of your mask. Okay, I should have mentioned it's good to give the entire mask a good pressing as well, so you can see now how nice my sides look. And now all we have to do before you can actually see that we have a real functioning mask is turn the pocket right side out, and then we'll just attach the elastic and close up our ends. So you just want to go ahead and use the face fabric and pocket opening to turn the pocket right side out. Need to bend my nose piece the opposite way now. All right. And now snip that. We have a mask that could still press this a little bit more now that it's right side out, but a mask that looks finished from both the outside and the inside. So now you have a pocket you can put various types of filters in for extra safety. And now all we have to do is grab our 2 pieces of elastic. We want to fold the ends over where the second dotted line is. So again, to do that, I'm just gonna go ahead and mark it with pencil and draw a line. Okay, so I drew my pencil lines on there. Now all you want to do is, and there is a good amount of excess, you could trim this a little if you wanted to, but it shouldn't be too bulky. You're just going to fold in the edge on that line, and we're going to go to the iron and nicely press our 2 ends in so that we have turned in nice finished fabric edges. Okay, so our last step is inserting our elastic. So we actually have these little pieces, whereas other tutorials you can use actually hair ties if you need other things in the future, or just like individual strips of elastic. But because we have these with the pull that helps adjust it, which is nice, again, for a tight fit, we're gonna go ahead and just insert our 2 ends in. These are pretty long, so what I recommend you guys doing, and what I did when I made my sample before, was I held my mask up to my face in the bathroom and then held the elastic to see how far in I wanted to put it, and it turned out for like a good fit, and then being able to pull it even a little more snug, sorry. I put my elastic in at about 1 inch, and then you can snip it shorter if you want, or just attach it. But I would recommend measuring it, because you don't want to attach it from the edge and then have tons of extra elastic, so you have to pull it super tight to get it to even fit. So I'm going to go ahead and, based off of that, just take, you see, I'm just taking my ruler and my chalk and just marking 1 inch on my elastic so that I know how far to insert it. It's hard to get a good mark. It wants to move. All right, so I would want to do this again on my next piece, but I'm just gonna, for the video, go ahead and show you guys what to do now. So now you just want to slip that elastic. Again, you could cut off like a quarter of, or half an inch if you wanted to, but I'm not too worried about having the extra elastic in there. You want to feed it into the side of the mask and pin it in place so it doesn't move when you go to sew. Yeah, ow. I am trying to pin it so that I'm not creating extra holes or anything in my mask. Although at the side, I'm not as concerned. Make sure that the elastic is not twisted, so make sure you put it in nice and straight. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and edge stitch my side so that this is closed and the elastic is sewn in, and I'm actually going to double back stitch over the elastic to make it extra strong there, to make sure that it does not come undone. Okay, so I have my needle in the center. I'm going to line up the edge of my fabric with the, let me try to show you guys, with the inside edge of this hole in my presser foot. So keeping it lined up here and then edge stitching right alongside. If you wanted to, you could do the opposite and flip this and then move the needle over and all that, but I'm just gonna go this way for now. I'm actually going to take my needle right out because I don't think my elastic will move and I don't want to sew through it. So I'm gonna begin stitching. I'm sewing over my elastic. Now I want to back stitch back to my edge. Now I'm going to stitch back again, and now I'm going to add a second back stitch over my elastic again, just because you're going to be pulling on this a lot, so you want to make sure it's secure and won't come undone. Now I can go ahead and sew the rest of my going to do the same thing at the bottom. So adding that extra back stitching in for extra precaution. All right, so now you can see that one's in. I'm going to go ahead and sew my other elastic. All right, so I added my other elastic, and that's everything. So now I have a nice finished home sewn mask. So these are more skills you can add to the list, guys, and hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. I actually really like making these. I'm thinking about doing it as Christmas gifts for family and friends this year, as a cheap option and giving people something they actually need. So make sure that this fits you, and if anyone has issues with that, I can always give you tricks on getting it to fit. So you could always shorten the sides a little bit, readjust the elastic, whatever it may be. But as long as you insert some kind of a filter in here, this should be a very safe and efficient mask. So I look forward to seeing the masks you guys end up making yourselves. All right, thanks for watching.